Pink Floyd co-founder, bassist and singer Roger Waters can be considered one of the greatest and most influential songwriters of all time, since he became Floyd's main songwriter in the following years, after Syd Barrett was fired from the band. Most of the lyrics of classic albums like Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, and The Wall were written by him, so he certainly should be up there with other great songwriters like Neil Young, for example. But is Roger's opinion on the legendary Canadian artist? The original Pink Floyd bassist loves Neil Young's work and praised him many times over the years. He even said in a session of Q&A with fans in 2024 that he wished he had written Young's track Powderfinger. The question was, what famous story do you wish you'd written or performed? Waters said, Powderfinger? Neil Young, I think, is from Rust Never Sleeps, but I could be wrong. Look out, Ma, there's a white boat coming up the river. Great song. There are many songs, obviously, which I could have given my right arm to write, but that's the first one popped into my head. Waters was right. Powderfinger was featured on Young's 1979 album, Rust Never Sleeps. But that's not Waters' only favorite song by Neil Young. He had already mentioned Helpless in an interview in BBC's radio program, Desert Island Discs, back in 2011. It was one of the 8 songs he said he would take to a desert island. Neil Young singing Helpless. There is an honesty and a truth in everything that he's done. You feel the man's integrity and passion? I can feel the hair standing up on the back of my neck, now remembering the purity with which he hits the first notes of this song. Therefore, it's extraordinarily moving and eloquent. Roger Waters said, technically, Helpless is a Neil Young song because it was written by him. However, the track was originally recorded by the supergroup Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. The track was featured on their historic 1970 album, Deja Vu. In an interview with Joe Rogan back in 2022, Roger Waters explained why he is more interested in songwriters like Neil Young and Bob Dylan than artists like Eddie Van Halen and AC/DC. I'm not very up on rock history. I'm not very interested in most popular music. I mean, there are certain people that I'm a great fan of, but mainly the sort of writers, the singer-songwriters. So, Bob, Dylan, and Neil Young.